I had a little shower thought. I figured out the key difference between watchmaking and software developers. And I was like, oh, I'm going to tell TikTok about this. But then I realized I was wrong. Let me just back up here. So the key difference I thought was watchmakers want to do everything by hand, have everything, take every possible step they can to make a luxury watchmaker, to make the watch perfect in every way and take no shortcuts. And software developers are inherently lazy, and we want to automate away everything. Take no further look than Claude Code as the biggest potential self-owned example in the history of jobs. So I'm wrong though. That's not it. Because here's two examples. The first one is going to be about my company and a tool that we made that demonstrates our laziness. And the second one is going to be about watchmaking. So one thing at my company that we used to hate was just the overhead around getting new projects on board until they kind of get underway. Like there's statements of work, there's agreements, there's all this estimation, there's getting the requirements. It's just a lot and it's not our favorite. It's more fun to just build stuff. And so we would often like make our whole project style about reducing that. Like just hire us by the week. Let's just review the requirements every week and update them that way. We don't have to figure it all up front. And there's good reasons for that besides just that we're lazy, but we didn't like it. Now we've been like experimenting with different business models because AI is kind of forcing our hand, and it's like nobody really wants to just sort of like have full-time vendor developers on their staff. Like we're the ones that they might want to cut if they're trying to reduce expenses. So we tried two different ways. One way was like, can we do like a retainer model where the retainer is actually less than the cost of the developer to us, and we'll make it up in volume? That didn't work so much. Every time I tried to sell that or explain it, people were like, well, what is that actually? What do I really get? So I kind of let that go. And then the other one, I tried it out once and people were like, give me that. It was pay by the drink. It's like, we'll figure something out. We'll tell you what it costs and we'll build it. And then if you want something more, you can pay for another drink. I guess that's what everybody has wanted all along. The thing is though, that puts all of the administrative burden and overhead and a lot of the risk back onto us. And so the risk is mitigated a bit with just using AI to do the development. So we're less likely to spend a lot of time in blind corners. But the administrative overhead is still a lot. Like we have to do these estimates, we have to build these SOWs, we have to say what the acceptance criteria are, we have to say what's out of scope, specifically out of scope, or generally out of scope. That's a lot every time you want to take a drink. And it would eat into our ability to deliver sort of affordably. But we built a tool to do it. Now we can pour in requirements from Figma, pour them in from meeting notes, like literally meeting recordings, pour them in from just typing, having a conversation. And that way you can see an SOW come out, which is a statement of work, by the way, in case you're a watch person, you're like, what is he talking about? And then you can chat against the statement of work and fix it if it's not what you wanted. So we'll see how that works. I think it's going to be great. Really excited with this guy on our team named Johnny, who's been developing that. And then, okay, so what about watchmaking? How is it that watchmakers could be lazy in the same way? Well, something happened to me the other day where the seconds hand was kind of hitting the crystal of the watch and causing the whole movement to seize up. And I was like, what is going on here? I talked to Claude about whether other people have experienced this, and to please go search up ideas on Reddit. And it did. And it said that this does happen. And some people even like curve the watch hands to keep them off the glass. And I imagine myself doing that first, like with tweezers, and I'd end up with a second hand that's like bent. I don't want that. And then I imagined doing it with my fingers. And I was like, well, yeah, but that's iffy and dangerous. And then I imagined, I could make like a ping pong ball with a hole in it, and I could like curve the hand along the surface of the ball, and then it would have a nice shape. and I realized I just invented a watchmaking tool. Probably exists already, but in my mind, it was brand new. And that's the same thing the developers do. Like the watchmaking tool world is full of purpose-built tools. There's hundreds, maybe even thousands. Some of them are one of one, and they live in a single watchmaker shop, and some of them are ubiquitous, and they sell them on AliExpress or Burgeon. So yeah, we're the same. We both want to be, we both want to automate the parts that are tricky and put them off to a tool.